We now shift our attention to Palestine. The war that raged in Gaza has subsided, but the battlefield seems to have shifted to West Bank. The recent ceasefire in Gaza brought a momentary sense of relief for the Palestinians. For more than a year, Gaza was under relentless bombings, leaving over 47,000 people dead and displacing nearly the entire population. But just as one part of Palestine seems to cool, another has ignited. Reports from the West Bank reveal a sharp escalation in violence as Israeli military operations and settler aggression intensify. Just hours after the Gaza ceasefire took effect on January 19th, Israeli forces began constructing new checkpoints across the West Bank, reportedly cutting off farmers from their lands while sealing civilians living in cities like Hebron and Bethlehem, to reportedly preventing Palestinians from gathering and rejoicing prisoner releases who were let go in a swap for Israeli captives held by Hamas as a part of the deal. Simultaneously, Israeli settlers are seizing the moment. They have expanded illegal outposts and launched violent attacks on Palestinian villages. These outposts, often deemed unlawful under both international and Israeli law, they continue to grow unchecked. Local rights groups allege that Israeli settlers, under the protection of the military, are setting homes and vehicles ablaze and also thrashing the residents. Well, earlier this week, settlers attacked two villages in the northern West Bank as well as villages further south in Mazafir Yatta and around Ramallah as well. This surge in violence coincides with shifting global dynamics. In the United States, newly inaugurated President Donald Trump has already signaled a departure from past policies. His administration lifted sanctions on groups linked to extremist settler movements and also key figures opposed to Palestinian statehood. They now occupy influential positions. Experts suspect a quiet deal may have been struck with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to halt the war in Gaza and perhaps turn up the pressure in the West Bank. This measure, though, may have been taken for political reasons alone. You may wonder why. Because, reportedly, the potential for an Israeli operation in the West Bank as well as the growth of illegal settlements could have been done to incentivize Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, so that he could perhaps remain in Netanyahu's frail coalition, rather than pull out and collapse the government as a way to go against the ceasefire in Gaza. Smotrich is known to be a vocal advocate for expanding Israeli control of the West Bank. In West Bank's Jenin refugee camp, Israeli forces launched a major military operation on Tuesday. The operations continued for the third day in Jenin and surrounding areas. At least 12 people have been killed and 40 injured so far in the operation. The IDF forces reportedly told local media that the operations in the camp are expected to continue for the coming few days as well. Experts meanwhile warn that all these escalations are only the beginning. The International Crisis Group predicts a further surge in Israeli military campaigns aimed at quelling any kind of Palestinian resistance. Palestinians in the West Bank now live under constant threat. For many, the memory of Gaza's destruction looms large, fearing that they too may have a similar outcome. The West Bank stands at a perilous crossroad at this point of time.